Meringue is located at 47209 North Highway 288 in Young, Arizona. More information about our vineyard can be found on Facebook and cruisyvineyard.com.
Community involvement is very important to Desert Financial Credit Union, proud sponsors of KRIM's Community Spotlight program.
Desert Financial is proud to sponsor KRIM's Community Spotlight program. At Desert Financial, we believe in sharing success with our members and our local community. That's why our members get more just for banking with us, like chances to win sweepstakes, plus the convenience of online banking and our mobile app. Our members also help us get grants, scholarships, random acts of kindness, and more. Thousands of Arizonans have already joined Desert Financial, located inside the Mason Walmart.
And good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio, and we hope you're having a great morning out there. It's beautiful weather. Hope you had a wonderful weekend as well. I know it's Tuesday, but just thinking back to the weekend, it was so beautiful out there that hopefully everyone enjoyed their time. And again, it looks like a beautiful week ahead of us. So hope you are able to get out there and enjoy the weather. Well, it is Tuesday, and it's the second Tuesday of the month. So we have in the studio Erleen Tilton, and the program is Secrets of Healthy, Happy People. Good morning, Erleen.
Good morning.
And,
so good to be here.
Oh, hey, thank you. Thank you for coming in, and we always enjoy what you have to share, and little tips to help us all be healthier.
Yes.
And that is a good thing.
Yes.
Today, going to be talking about sugar.
Yes, and especially food addictions.
Mm.
So we have another holiday coming, or not a holiday, but a special day, Valentine's Day. And it seems to be the way of the world to really pack on the sugar and just really push the sugar at this time of year. And it's like, okay, with the sugar comes decreased immunity, it packs on the pounds, and it creates more addictions. And the thing that I've figured out over the years is that it's our children that are suffering more and more. You know, stop and think back. When we were children, we didn't have the sickness, the obesity, and the addictions that not only adults have, but children are having. And the more we pack on with the sugar, these are the problems that we deal with in our society today, with every holiday especially.
Oh yes, and also forgot to mention at the beginning that we are, as we always do, are streaming on our Facebook page, KRIM FM, and our YouTube channel, KRIM 96.3 FM. So if you'd like to watch, and in doing so, you can also comment. So comment with suggestions, questions, things that you do around this maybe time of year, or just in general, to help curb those cravings, addictions to different types of food.
Absolutely, and if you have any questions, please ask, because we love to have your questions, and glad to help you with those.
So I guess what are some different ways that you can help to curb or overcome addictions that we have to foods?
Sure. Well, first of all, I always say the number one, and I'm going to share 8 tips with you here today. The number one is recognize that it's an addiction, but don't focus on it. So that kind of seems a little strange to say that, but I think a lot of people don't recognize that they really have an addiction. We're going to talk more about that in number 2, but to also not focus on that, because really self-talk is a very, very powerful thing. And if we're always thinking, I have an addiction, that really is sabotaging us. So self-talk is really positive too. I mean, we can use words like, I'm a freedom fighter, I am achiever, I succeed at things that I want to do. You know, I'm energetic, I'm helpful, I'm happy, whatever that works for you. Don't focus on the word addiction, but recognize that you have it, and use a word to always tell yourself to be able to overcome it.
Versus, I just don't have any energy. do the opposite, to
Right.
to do what you really want to do,
Right.
whether it comes to food or those other things. But as you've pointed out, and that's what is very good about everything you share, it all starts with food for the most part. That's our fuel.
It does.
Our body's fuel. So if we're not using good fuel, putting good fuel in our bodies, then it makes it very hard to have energy, good energy,
Right.
without
Right.
crashing, to be focused mentally, and to do all of the things that we
Yeah.
want to do.
Absolutely.
So you said there's 8.
Yes.
You have 8 tips.
So number 2 is recognize where your triggers are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I've identified 3 different triggers. One's an emotional trigger, one's a habit, and one is uncontrollable cravings. Now let me talk about each one of these. First of all, it can be tied to an emotion. Sometimes when people have emotional foods, when they're sad, when they're depressed, when they are stressed, they start eating. And so is your trigger for overeating or an addiction really an emotional trigger? Is it a habit? Now, many people that I coach will honestly say, when I grew up, we always stopped for gas, and we always went in and bought treats and snacks and drinks. Well, sometimes it's a real habit. People just don't know how to get out of those habits. But thirdly, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more. It really is an uncontrollable craving, and we need to recognize what's causing those cravings and really get to the root cause and how to remove those. So I'll talk a little bit more about those. So if you kind of sit down and say, really, is this what I say, is it emotional, is it a habit, or is it an uncontrollable craving? And then you can actually address it a little bit better.
And so without getting too far off the path here, I think a hard one these days is when you are traveling, when you are going, on a trip, to find healthier food is very challenging. So would you recommend, or I guess one of the things that you could do is preparing and packing your own food?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Always prepare ahead. And I'll go in that in just a minute, but I think that most of us are thinking on the spur of the moment, and we need to definitely look ahead
Gotcha.
for that.
I know, because when you go into convenience stores, the gas stations,
There's nothing good in there, so don't even think about it.
well, there's bananas usually by the cash register. I know.
Yeah,
I
that's
find
about
myself,
it.
you grab a banana, and there's water, you have water in there, but then there are just a lot of other things.
Yeah,
that it's
a lot of
for-
other things that we don't really need.
For
So.
me, gummy bears.
Oh, yeah.
Gummy bears, I'm a sucker.
Well, number 3 is really to decide what you want to have happen and keep your focus there. Now, a lot of people, again, that I coach, it's like they're on this pathway, and it's like you need to really turn about face if you really want to see about face different results. So if you're going south, let's go north. Let's move away what you don't want and really adopt a new lifestyle, new habits, new patterns. Because if you don't think in those terms, I mean, people go on a diet, but they know in 30 days or 60 days they're going to go off of it. And they're going to go right back to what they're doing. If you don't change your habits, if you don't change your direction, if you don't change your focus, you'll never accomplish anything. So it really is a mindset to really change that focus from going south and going north. I mean, really. Black and white, just change your focus and your direction and just decide, I'm going to have different results with this. I am going to do things differently than I did. I'm going to get rid of these habits and adopt some new ones. And it really works if you do that.
And with habits, it does take a little while, but they say if you or do something, the same thing for forget what the they say for the average person.
Say 21 days, but they
21
say to really change a lifestyle, you really need to do it for 90 days.
90 days.
So 90 days, just if you stick with something for 90 days, you really change your lifestyle. And 3 months isn't really a long time. So if you could really stick to something for 90 days and really make a solid effort to make those changes, you'll do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
So what is the next item?
The next one is kind of like we were talking about before, is really creating substitutes for bad habits
Okay.
and replacements in some of your weak areas. So to me, this was huge for me years ago. I had to get off of all caffeine, including chocolate. And that was really difficult, but when I found carob, and you'll notice that I do a lot with carob,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going to do more with carob
Yeah.
in the kitchen. Carob is a healthy replacement, and I felt like once I gave up chocolate, I could give it up for life because I had carob. So I have learned to give up a lot of other things
Yes.
that I've realized aren't servicing my body, that are sabotaging me, and I want things that support my body. So over the years, I've been able to give up dairy. I've been able to give up grains completely, almost. I've been able to give up a lot of foods because I have had healthy replacements. And that's why you really do need to plan ahead and think ahead. And when you're going on trips or road trips or just out for the afternoon, find something that you can, maybe a healthy snack to take along so you're not tempted. But if it's soft drinks, it's your temptation and habit. I've helped people that just, get a drink of water and add essential oils to it. And it's a flavor that actually can be energizing and gut stimulating and cleansing and tasty. And so there are healthy replacements.
Yes.
You just got to find them and make sure that you have them, because those can be lifesavers.
So I know in the stores, and what you see a lot of these days, drinks like AHA or bubbly or different, whether they're carbonated or non-carbonated, but they have a flavoring to them, and they don't have sugars. They aren't artificially sweetened, which is good. But the flavorings, I know for the most part, aren't the best. They're not natural. They may say natural flavoring, but it isn't like an oil, an essential oil, or taking a lemon or a lime and squeezing it into the water, or putting cucumber or strawberry or different things. So it is not the same, but it is better, I would have to say, than a soft drink or something that has a lot of sugar in it.
Just read your labels and go from there. I always tell people, sometimes when you cut out all the bad stuff, you're cutting out a lot of extra costs that you don't need. So, sorry. And so, really, sorry, got a little tickle in my throat. I apologize. But anyway, just really going to something that's really going to benefit you rather than sabotage you. I mean, just look at the habit and find a healthy replacement. So.
And then also, it really comes down to feeling and listening to your body, kind of paying attention.
That's number 6. I have found, as I work with people over the years, a lot of people say, I never feel anything. I never feel any different. I'm going, yes, you do. You're just not recognizing it, because after you eat, there's a lot of people say, oh, I'm tired. Or I'm, they start feeling depressed. Or maybe times you feel energized or stressed or whatever. What is your body telling you? If you feel like your body's not telling you anything, it's just because you haven't stopped to listen to it, because you do feel things. I mean, our gut and brain connection is very, very connected. We have more neurotransmitters in our gut than we do in our brain, actually. And we can feel those things. We do feel energetic, lethargic, sleepy, happy. And you can tell if you've got a happy gut. If your gut is digesting, it really does make a difference. So listen to what your gut is telling you, because it's all about having a happy gut.
Again, talking with Erleen Tilton here on the Community Spotlight program. And this is a monthly program, Secrets of Healthy, Happy People. And I guess, should also let everyone know all of this information and everything that's discussed. And also, the second part of the program, we'll be going into the kitchen, and you'll be showing us, I got to see them before the program, and they are beautiful looking treats, especially for Valentine's Day, but they are alternatives to chocolate and sugar-based treats, and you can watch that on the KRIM FM Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. But your website, I wanted to have you give that as well.
That is erleentilton.com. That's ERLEENTILTON.com.
Great, because I know the recipes, all the recipes are on
Yes,
there.
I haven't posted those recipes yet, but I will be posting them this week. So some of the things that we're doing, so that will be fun. So.
And then you mentioned the gut.
Yes.
And all of the neurons, the
neurotransmitters
that are in the gut. So detoxing.
Yes, that's my number 6. I tell you, I've seen life-changing things happen when people go on a gut detox, because when you purge your gut of some of these unhealthy microbes, or what I like to tell people is, what you're craving is what you're rotting in your gut.
Ooh. Okay.
So really, if you stop and think about sugars and flours and high carb foods, actually rot in your gut, specifically because they don't have fiber. And they actually can create perforations in your gut too, which is a whole other subject here. But if you can do a good gut detox, and I have a whole program that's really, really beneficial. You actually purge the microbes and the candida out of your gut, and basically you don't have those sugar cravings. And I tell people, have you ever heard of anybody saying, broccoli, I need to have broccoli 10 times a day? Well, you don't, because broccoli is full of fiber, it's full of nutrition, it digests and it goes through your gut. You don't have those, you may get hungry for broccoli, but you don't have those cravings 10 times a day like you do sugar. It's because it's not rotting in your gut. And so if you purge that candida and all of that rot in your gut, you don't crave it. So when I help people through a gut detox, that's the number one thing they will say. I don't have any sugar cravings. I can't believe this.
Wow.
And it really does work. It really does work. Super helpful for cravings and addictions.
And what you mentioned, fiber, there isn't really a lot of fiber in most of our diets, just the average diet. There isn't a lot of fiber.
Well, there's no fiber in meat, there's no fiber in dairy, there's no fiber in white sugar and flour, and so people are going for these fiber, capsules or supplements. It's like, get real fiber, eat fruits and vegetables, eat nuts and seeds, and the things that have fiber in them with some of these other foods, and try to eliminate all those, like the sugars and carbs and grain carbs that don't have any fiber in it. Those are what are really killing us. And so they don't have that fiber, and it's really hard to keep your gut clean.
So fiber, foods with fiber, fruits and veggies, nuts, and seeds.
Well, whole grains are good too if you're eating them whole.
Okay.
So it's just that most people tend to just really stack on the grains, and that's where it really creates a problem for us.
And a detox. Just an example of a detox.
So really, I have a detox program, and this really helps to nourish your body with good supplements. But the detox, one of the main detox items that I use is called GX Assist, and it has 6 essential oils. It's a soft gel, actually. The number 1 is oregano, and it really purges your gut of that candida. But it has tea tree oil, and it has lemon and some others. I don't remember what they are, but anyway, they're really good for addressing the candida and removing those unhealthy microbes in your gut. And it's not like it's really uncomfortable and you have to stick to the bathroom. That's what people are afraid of going in on detoxes simply because of that. And so this is a way to really purge your gut and really do what you need to do to clean out your gut so that it works happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said before, so there isn't, there aren't those deposits, the rot, leftovers in the gut to create those cravings.
Yep, absolutely.
So then, what is on the list?
Number
after detox?
7 is make self-care a priority. So I talked about supplements, but get your nutrition in. Eat healthy. This is good nutrition. I just get your vitamins and minerals and your omegas, your antioxidants. These to me are super, super important. People tell me all the time, I don't have money for that. And I'm thinking, you seem to have money for all this fast food and going out to eat and stopping out the convenience stores. But people feel like supplements that are healthy are too expensive. And I'm thinking, you have money for what you want. And basically, most people don't get enough enzymes. This is enzymes are really, really important for helping to break down your food. And naturally we get enzymes in our raw fruits and vegetables. We just need to eat more salads, more vegetables, especially. But get enzymes because those really help your gut be able to digest the foods and utilize those foods. I mean, this is another reason why food rots in your gut is because you are not taking anything to help digest it. And so it's just going to sit there. And we aren't eating the kinds of foods that will help us digest our food. So.
And what are some things that break down or kill the enzymes in our gut?
Well, we also need a good microbiome, so the intestinal flora. So if we don't have enough probiotic in our gut, which is another thing, I didn't bring that, but if we don't have enough probiotics, we have a lot of antibiotics or negative bacteria.
Yes.
And people do take a lot of antibiotics, which actually destroys your gut. So that's one of the biggest things that destroys your gut microbiome.
Yes.
Is the antibiotics.
And that's something where antibiotics, there are needs for antibiotics. There's times where that they assist the body in eliminating, killing whatever is going on, but that's where it is very critical to get the probiotics back in that those antibiotics have killed.
Absolutely, and make sure that you're doing more probiotic than antibiotic. And that's where most people have issues, or they have challenges that they're really taking more antibiotics than probiotics. So we have to really be on the proactive side and really put in our gut the things that will help nourish our gut and feed our gut and build our gut and help our gut function properly. And we don't really think about doing that. So that's just one part of the self-care, but get good sleep, exercise, eat right, do all the things that are good for self-care. And this is where I absolutely love my essential oils, especially because they can help with all of those areas. Lemon is so good for actually cleansing the gut, but it's also really good for energy. My Serenity or lavender is really good for helping me calm and sleep good at night. But black pepper is one of the best things for addictions and for reducing cravings. I've had so many people with food addictions and cravings just find some great success with black pepper. Cinnamon is also really good. I found black pepper is actually the most effective.
Wow.
And so people put it in their mouth, they put it on the back of their neck, on their wrist, they can diffuse it, take it in a capsule. However you get this black pepper down several times a day, plus it's great flavor in foods, we all like pepper. So this is a great thing to really curb your cravings and addictions. And cinnamon too, I like adding that to drinks, hot drinks, really good, and lemon to hot drinks. So just really be more proactive and helping your body, assisting your body in its actually need to want to feel better.
Mhm.
I think our bodies, we came with bodies that really want to do better. We've just got to give them the right tools.
And it's so beautiful here in the Rim Country.
Yeah, absolutely.
You reside in Young, and which again, just beautiful. There's so many places to go and be outside.
Right.
And then when you're outside, that's great. Getting the vitamin D, the fresh air, and engaging in exercise. It is all very good for our bodies.
Get out at noon this time of year. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just feel so energized, that full sun, and it's not too hot, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, and so if you're able to, if you're working during the day, and I know I see a few people that around town, they'll either at noon on a lunch break or on their breaks, they'll be walking, just walking around the office or wherever they're working.
Exercise.
Take a drive down to Green Valley and the lakes there. You can walk around the lake. That's really nice. So
it's not only good physically, it's really good emotionally and mentally. I have found that going for a walk in the sunshine is, it's so good for our emotions. It's uplifting, it's energizing. It's really good for emotional support.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So again, we're about to head into the kitchen. We're going to continue on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube stream. So you can join us in the kitchen and you can see these tasty treats that Erleen has brought. And I should clarify, tasty and healthy treats that she always brings into the studio. For us to try and for her to share with everyone watching and listening how those can be made.
Yes,
How you can
absolutely.
make them at home.
Lots of fun.
All right, so here on the radio, though, we're going to be getting back to the music with some John Denver, Police, David Bowie, and The Who. But first, we have an update from the National Weather Service.
Now the KRIM weather forecast for Payson and surrounding areas. I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
There we go. And you guys are going to come with us into the kitchen. When it comes back on, and then I'll come around. All right. There we go. All right, perfect. Welcome back, everybody. And we are live now in the kitchen. And this is the first time I've ever been on this side. So this is fun. I'm looking forward to this because always it's been a case where Randy has been over here and he would eat the food and I'm behind the camera watching him go, that's delicious. Wow, that's really good. And I just start salivating and like, I want to try. So that is great. So, wow.
So we have a wonderful few choices of foods that you can actually make, and actually all of these are dairy free, they're sugar free, and they're actually grain free.
Wow.
And you can make some fabulous healthy treats that, I mean, just they're really tasty as well. So you'll have to
Yes.
so let me just kind of,
and just looking at everything initially, and when you say grain free and dairy free, I see like a cupcake, muffins, and they all have an icing as well. So there's no dairy.
no dairy.
In the icing. There's no grains in the
Nope, no
cake.
grains at all.
Wow.
And these don't have chocolate, they're carob. And if you haven't tasted carob, I invite you to. If you get some good carob, and you can get sugar-free carob as well. So
it's I am very familiar. In the 70s, growing up, my parents' mom was very hippie-esque. So when carob became very popular, I think we always had carob coated or yogurt coated, but yogurt higher in sugar, so the carob, it was kind of what she went for most of the time. So there were quite a few items that we got. No chocolate, just carob coated raisins, and so on.
Fun stuff. Well, I've kind of experimented with a lot of this stuff over the years, and so let me just talk about this one. This one almost made it here in one piece, actually coming from Young, but anyway, it's still kind of together, but this is actually just a meringue, and it has coconut cream that I've put a little sweetening of the monk fruit. It's powdered monk fruit. And it also has the essential oils. I have both lemon and orange in here. Very, very tasty. So basically you just have to cut it up kind of like a pie. You can see the outside is a little bit more crisp, but it's a meringue and it's actually kind of tasty. So you have to give that a try and see what you think of it, because that is doesn't want to stay. Oh, actually, you get it for it.
There it is.
So, like I said, it's more like a meringue, and basically you're just putting that on, actually grease your pan first, and then put it on parchment paper. And that's really neat. So you actually bake it for an hour at 275, and then you leave it in overnight. And then it has the coconut cream on top, and you just add whatever fruits you want. But strawberries are great because they kind of look like hearts. So it's kind of a tasty treat. What do you think? It's just a little meringue.
It reminds me of like an angel's food.
Kind of like that. So we call it pavlova. And it's, like I said, just kind of a fun thing to do. Super, super simple to make a meringue and put it, shape it into a heart or a circle or whatever you want, and put it in the oven. And it's sweetened with the monk fruit sweetening. Now, the monk fruit sweetening actually is no calorie, it's no carb. And so I would say don't go overboard on it, but it can take the place of sugar, especially if you are trying to balance your blood sugar and cut down your sugar. So it's a great healthy replacement. So kind of fun and different.
It is. The texture is really nice, and the crust on the outside. Yeah. It's good. It is almost like not the same as a crust. Right. On a pie, but it just gives it a different texture. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice.
Actually kind of fun to do. Wow. So these are actually little muffins, which I've also put the coconut cream and the strawberry on just to make them fun. So these, you can actually taste that if you would like one of those. They are made out of almond flour.
Almond flour.
And again, you could add a little bit of honey. I did the monk fruit sweetening again. Monk fruit is one thing that I do like to do, but they're very moist. They're called orange cranberry muffins. And you don't have to frust them. They're great without any type of cream or anything at all, but they're super yummy. And I mean,
and if you can see in there, just very moist too. They are very moist, not dry at all.
Yeah, it's a very, very moist muffin. And you can see that I actually use little molds for these. The little silicone molds are really fun for doing a lot of different things that you can do. Actually, I did a meatloaf. I can do heart meatloafs in here, or little cakes, or whatever you like to do. But the silicone molds are kind of fun to do cupcakes and a lot of other things. So
heart meatloafs. There we go.
Yeah, the meatloafs are. I actually did some this week at another class and event, and it's kind of fun to use these silicone molds for things like that. So
Mm.
lots of heart stuff that you can do. So heart or not, I also did another one. This is carob, not only the carob and the cupcake as well as the frosting. But you might want to taste this and see what you think about it. I don't know if you want to eat all of it or if you want to just try part of it.
I could eat all of it, and but I don't want to do that. I'll try part of it.
Try part of this, and like I said, this is carob again, and you can see
Yeah.
see
Perfect.
what your thoughts are on it. This
There
is
we go.
actually
Thank you.
made this last week, so it's not as fresh,
Mhm.
but it's I love the carob. It can still be creamy and flavorful and just very tasty,
Mhm.
and can be
And the muffins were great. The flavor again, it's orange,
and cranberry, orange and cranberry.
very light. It's very light flavor, not overpowering. And that's something that just with most foods today, especially processed or prepackaged foods, the flavor is just overwhelming. It's just
It's sugar,
artificial.
mostly.
It's sugar. It's just so strong.
Chemicals.
To where when you taste something that has a real flavor, it'll taste different, maybe not taste as strong, but when you were talking about habits, when you get used to that taste, then you try and have one of those flavored drinks or
Yep.
a candy bar or whatever it is, it's just too much. It's too much. It's just overpowering.
And I'm glad you brought that out because I think that our taste buds definitely have gotten used to chemicals, artificial flavors, and sugars to where when there's something real,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people don't like something real because it is flavor. They say, I don't like the flavor. And it's like, because you're having real flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to have things that have real flavor that are tasty and good for you. So you
That is
like the
very
carob?
good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I
Yeah.
said, I've learned to be able to do away with chocolate simply because I've learned more on carob. And it's been a really good, healthy replacement. Now, also we have these kinds of things that, like I said, you can. So this
just
one's more
solid.
of a peanut butter cup.
Mm-hmm.
This one's what my grandchildren call Kit Kats.
Oh, really?
Because it has Rice Krispies in there. It's actually a healthy brown rice crispy.
Wow.
And this one has an almond in. I don't know if you want to taste one or all, but
Yeah. Well,
these
Kit
are
Kat-
great because they're, like I said, they're fun to make, and I love, again, working with different molds. It's just fun to be able to still take some carob chips that are unsweetened, add a little bit of coconut oil, put them in the top of a double boiler, and you can make all kinds of treats out of them. Now the peanut butter cup, you'll have to taste that as well. The peanut butter cup, I actually have honey in it. So it does have honey, but it's very good. It has the peanut butter and the honey and a little bit of protein powder to kind of pull it together. So it's fun to be able to create. And I'm telling you, children really enjoy being in the kitchen, whether they're your children or your grandchildren or the neighbor's children. Involve children because they love doing this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my granddaughter was so excited to learn how to make Kit Kat bars.
And that is almond butter?
No, it is
Or-
actually peanut butter. Now,
It is
I'm not a
peanut
peanut butter person. I normally go for the almond butter, but
Mm-hmm.
I had an event and I wanted to have them taste what a peanut butter
Mm-hmm.
cup tasted like, and actually people were kind of excited about it. So,
That is
good?
very good.
is that good?
It is very good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The crisp one is nice, but the peanut butter,
Is really
oh,
good.
yeah.
So Kit
But
Kats or peanut butter cups.
Mm-hmm.
You can make them however you want, in circles, hearts, or whatever you want.
Mhm.
But
So, carob, if people are looking to purchase carob, to do this, you mentioned carob chips.
right, you can carob chips or carob bars. Sometimes you have to look online to find places that you can purchase it. I know that Back to Basics carries carob chips. I don't know if they carry the unsweetened ones, but I usually go for the unsweetened ones. And then I can choose what I sweeten it with inside. So, eliminating the sugar.
And you mentioned honey is what you used to
I did for the peanut butter.
How about this one? This one isn't quite as sweet.
Yeah, I didn't add anything in there as far as sweetening. I just put those brown rice Krispies in that, and it's just fun. So you just fill the mold halfway and throw in those Rice Krispies or, that peanut butter ball, and then put a little bit more carob on top and chill it, and away you go.
Yes, delicious. So delicious. And now you have strawberries here.
Right.
Because you put strawberries on top of the different items. You could cover the strawberries in carob, couldn't you?
You actually could, and that's a fun thing to do as well. There's just so much that you can do. Again, it's all about minimizing your sugar, minimizing those cravings and addictions, and especially helping not only us as adults, but helping our children and our teens better deal with life and the things that they are facing, because food is our fuel. And if we are running on addictions, which most people are today, they're just basically running on addictions, and we don't have to. We can make that about change. And the last thing I just want to bring out is our number 8 tip was actually get support. And this is where I do, as a health coach, I help people know the path for change. And I think sometimes we want to make changes, we have good intentions, but we just don't know how. So I really am here to help people make the changes, because we have a lot of options today. We have a lot of opportunities. We just need to, again, quit going south, and let's decide to turn north. And let's make some of those healthy changes, because we can do it.
And your website again for everyone?
ErleenTilton.com. That's ErleenTilton.com. And you can actually email me at ask at ErleenTilton.com, ErleenTilton.com, and reach out. I'm glad to send you the recipes. I'm glad to help you on your way and help get you started to get that gut detox and whatever else you need to make that change.
There you go. Well, thank you so much, Erleen, for bringing all of this in, and also for all of the information. Great information. And I think the biggest thing is it is a change in lifestyle, change in habit. So to get information and to get some encouragement, and the thing that you've brought out in all of these programs is you show how easy it is, where you keep things simple. And in keeping things simple, it's easier to create that habit, or to substitute what you're teaching, what you're showing, for that other thing. Because a lot of times there's maybe different diets or programs that it is a little more complicated. It's a little more complicated, and there's a lot of steps, or you need this, that, but all of the food that you prepare, a lot of it is raw or just heated slightly, to where it's very simple to make. It tastes really good. The essential oils just enhance the flavors. It does. Complements the flavors, and it is good, very good fuel for our bodies. That it also is about the same price. It isn't a lot more, maybe a little, depending on what you're buying or what you're getting, but it isn't also a case where you're spending a lot more too.
And actually I've seen it just completely turn over. If you can get rid of all of those costly things that are creating your addiction and creating your actually obesity and health problems, let's get rid of all those things and start incorporating some healthier choices. And don't be afraid of change. Embrace change, because that's where we're going to see different results.
All right.
And that's where it's fun.
So thank you again, Erleen. Thank you guys for watching. And Randy, sorry you missed out on this. We'll, maybe if you come up, we'll save a muffin for you. No, thank you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your week, okay?
Thank you.